Hello and welcome to another episode. In today's episode, I had the inspiration to improve the mob farm that I have, and especially the mob or the storage for the mob room, mob for the drops. So I want to create a shulker packing storage instead of just having chest with the spoils, and then I want to send the shulker away in a water stream into the pyramid, and there it will get sorted automatically in the correct location. So with that, I probably need 5 different shulker or 5 different water streams, because you can sort shulker boxes, but yeah, it's a bit difficult. Now I'm just in the process of, I started to dig down. I need to dig down an additional 8 pieces, and I've seen some caves down below, so that's what I'm going to do next. It's a new day and I've dug out the area, and actually I started to record, but I forgot to start OBS, so I didn't really record anything. So I showed you that I dug out the area, and I also put some walls around and a floor with white concrete. And since then, I've also added the item sorter and shulker loader here. So here is the item sorter, which then packs everything into a shulker over here. The shulkers will be popping out here, and then the broken shulkers will get here and be transferred in these 5 water streams. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 item streams to my base, which will, yeah, they will then be sorted correctly over there, or rather not sorted, just put into the correct chest, which sort of is sorting, I guess. So my next step is really to dig out this area over there all the way to my my pyramid. And you know, I really think that, like, when I'm designing stuff, I always want to make it look good on the inside as the outside. That's why I, for example, like when I did the shulker loader for the iron blocks, or the iron farm, I decorated everything with iron blocks inside and tried to make it visually pleasing inside as well. Although I maybe don't do it like overly decorative as I do on the outside, but yeah, that's sort of my philosophy that I got from Steve Jobs' father, which Steve Jobs also got. So the idea is probably someone is never going to look at it on the inside, but if people do, or rather you should be proud of yourself that you know that even the inside is beautiful, not just the outside. So I'm going to, every water stream, I'm going to make 2, the gap too wide or too high, so I can traverse it and then fill the walls with white concrete, and not just have it stone all the way. But I'm also thinking of, I don't think here's a creeper. Hello. I also don't think the beacon reaches all the way. So if I stand here, I probably will lose. Yeah, I'll lose all my things. So I'm thinking of setting up some beacons along the way So I know that I want to have sprint and haste all around my base, probably jump boost as well. So what I'm thinking of doing is setting up some beacons here all the way throughout the road and on the other side as well, and have one beacon be like haste and the other be something else, and yeah, just alternate between the beacons. And I think that should give me haste and speed all the way, or all the beacon effects wherever I am in my base. What I'm not sure of is how I want to build it. Maybe I want to build it like... Now I don't have a pyramid. Let's just go over here. Hello, Mr. Creeper. Or Inspector Bob, as Scar usually says. Uh-oh. Stupid grass that's in the way. So what I'm thinking is, either I could just do something very small here, like alongside the road I can make sort of like maybe a bit bigger, so sort of like small pyramids, but I could also make them a bit larger, so maybe instead of 5 I could make them 9 even. And then that's almost too big. Well, that's small, but I think small is better here, and that's way too much decoration for just some lights, and I want to have them quite often. That's actually what I think we'll be doing next, building up these and building beacons. So let's take a pause from that project. It took a while, but I finished all the beacons, and these aren't just like 3x3 beacons, all of these are full beacons. So I dug down to Y level 47. Basically I have all these, let's see, and let's not land. So all these everywhere in my base. Probably not here. So let's see. Yeah, it doesn't get more over here. I'm still not certain if I like this or not. It does look high. It does look different, and I'm not really sure if I like it or not. But if I want to have all the beacon effects on me like everywhere in my base, I'm not sure if there is a better alternative than... I know I had an idea to just a little bit all over the place, like randomly, and have like some small monument and such, but I do have some cactuses, so well, let me continue and maybe sell some cactuses as well. I'm here by the concrete maker, and I've noticed that I have lots of unfinished projects, so, and I even added to the project with these lights over here. But yeah, the road isn't finished, the terraforming, I just started it barely, and it looks awful according to me, so I want to do something about that. The cactus farm, well, I don't really use it anymore, and the mob farm doesn't have any structure around it. This concrete maker doesn't have any structure around it, and I'll also improve it a bit because Thomas was at the farm and I think he broke it a bit, but I would say that's on my fault, because if someone can break the system, yeah, it's not their fault that they break the system. It should be fault tolerant so that no one can really break the system. But yeah, I noticed that I have a solution for when for the dropper that's popping out items. So now I'm just using a timer, but a better solution would be to use like when just plop out when a player places down a block, then he gets another one. So that's a much better solution. So I think I'll want to use that instead. And I also decided, well, let's just make a building for the concrete maker now. So for now, I'm just going to make a white box around it, and then I'll decorate it somehow. I'm not sure how yet, but yeah, there should be a way to do it. So let me build up this whole block and see where that takes us. Okay, the building is like almost complete. So it looks like this. I actually ended up going into creative and designing it, and then yeah, instead of doing it here, because that would have taken even longer time. But I've noticed a few problems, so oh, and I haven't added a roof, so there will be a roof sort of like this going around all the... Maybe I should do that now. I'll do that after the video, but yeah, partly this isn't centered, which yeah, I don't like, so I might actually take down everything and rebuild it and make it centered, because yeah, the redstone, I need to redo the redstone anyway. I think I'll just redesign this room entirely. I feel like it's a lot easier to do now. That like before, this was sort of like the first project on this new server, and now I feel a lot more comfortable with building redstone contraptions. Even this doesn't feel, well, it's probably not something I could build on my own, but yeah, I find it a lot easier to understand how everything works, and I can also make some adjustments, I think. So yeah, I'm having a bit problem with this piston over here, this exact piston. I don't know why, but for some reason this piston gets locked, which doesn't happen. Well, it does happen in vanilla, but yeah, I'm not sure why this piston gets locked, because that should happen. It gets locked, which is a bit unfortunate. This piston is also all the problems for the all the problems that I have with this blast chamber is because of this piston when it malfunctions. So if I can find why it malfunctions, that would be awesome. So I've noticed I don't have any jump boost there, so it ends about here somewhere. Well, so the next step is probably not to fall down, but to tear it down and then build it up again. So might do that for another day. I probably will, but so far so good. So as for the third project today that I'm continuing with, basically what I wanted to do was really to finish up this. So yeah, since I said that I had a lot of unfinished projects, I wanted to finish this, but this requires lots of black glass, and I do have glass, but I don't have a lot of black dye, or rather I'd say I didn't have a lot of black dye. But yeah, I worked on this, but then I figured, well, I'll do something that's easy for me to get a lot of black dye. So I wanted to add like a crafting area. So now I say black dye, but it's basically insects. At least for now, until 1.14. So if we head out, so I wanted to create, somewhere that was easy to craft. So I decided to make a new building where I'll have all like these small little things. I wanted to have them first in my pyramid, so I have 2 already there, but I think I'll tear them down and move them here. So this is my setup. It's a shulker box crafting system which unloads shulker boxes here with charcoal, and here are empty shulker boxes, so I just put the insects in here and use this crafting. And here I got some buckets, so I usually just take out all my gear here, put in some 8 buckets. Yeah, we have a recipe on the server, which is a water bucket in the middle and then 8 charcoal on the side, which gives you 8 insects. And it's rather, it takes a while to craft because you have to change the water buckets all the time. Yeah, but this is at least a lot easier, so I just can refill all the water buckets here, craft another stack, just put them in. Well, I think I'll finish up over here, at least craft some more black glass and finish up this part. Then my idea is that the road will go something like this. Damn, it's really loud in the nether. But go something like this, but then instead of going like having the portal just here, I want to have sort of like a mini pyramid. And then I also had the idea of starting a dye shop, since I have lots of black dye, I have lots of bone meal from my farm, I also have some cyan dye, although I really need to use cyan dye. So, but is there anything I'm missing? I have a cocoa bean farm, although very manual and not so great working. I also, well, I don't have really any grey dye farm, but don't need one. Light blue, well, I don't have any light blue farm, which I really need since I don't want to spend lapis on that. And yellow I have, because sunflowers, roses, and then I can create orange. Purple is, I don't think purple is anything except it's red and lapis, so it's lapis again. And everything is lapis, feels like. So let's head out over to the shopping district and see where I can place the shop. We're here in the shopping district, so I'm wondering where I can place the shop. Probably want to have not a very large area, but it won't be super small, so I want to sell lots of dyes. So yeah, and I would preferably have it in the middle, but it's not really any place it works. Maybe back here, maybe back there. So I think over here should be like the entrance or going in, or maybe even here and place it on the top here. Yeah, that would work, and even maybe build up the mountain a bit more. Yeah, I like that idea, so that you can really even see it from down there. So up here, and so maybe we should we get started? Yeah, I'll just finish back in my home base, and yeah, I need to design something, so I probably want to design it in creative first. And I really like my smelter system, so I had to smelt up some more glass for the black. But yeah, before I had to smelt up 3 shulkers of oak to get 3 shulkers of charcoal. So, but yeah, I really like the system, and it works correctly now. So I had a bug in the system which spit out, well, it didn't dispense another shulker box when one was broken. So that's why I got a few items here, not in a shulker box. But now everything should be working correctly. Yeah, I just wanted to check in because I really like this place. The glass has finished smelting, and I also went ahead and smelted some charcoal. Or at least I thought I smelted some charcoal. Okay, so that confirms it. I can't be over there or over here when... well, I can't be far away from the system while smelting, because then the hopper minecarts, well, they won't do anything. Creative test well, and I think I've ended up with a design I somewhat like. So I wanted to use some different block palette than all the white concrete that I'm using. So in the latest episode with Iskall, I saw that he used bone blocks for like a marble effect, and I really like that, so I wanted to try that out. And I also wanted to try out red nether bricks, because that's been used quite often as of late in Hermitcraft episodes. So yeah, this is how it looks inside, and this is where all the dyes will be stored. Quite simple. Yeah, and the roof is white terracotta, so it's a bit darker than the floor. And then I just went with a simple... I wanted to go to make it feel almost like a crypt that would go underground, but this is actually overground. So yeah, I think this is it. So what I really need now is some nether warts, so I can probably have some nether warts now that I think of it. Maybe enough for red nether bricks. I also need to smelt up some netherrack, but I got quite a lot of netherrack if I remember correctly. So I can make some red nether bricks, so that should be good. What I'm missing is probably some vines. I don't think I have any vines really. I can probably just go to the jungle, even though it's quite far away. So I'll go with this design, but unfortunately I think we're out of time for this episode. So let me know in the comments if you like this kind of episode where I split into, well, had like 3 different projects into one episode. Maybe you like it, maybe not. But, well, if you do like it, I'll probably continue splitting up episodes instead of focusing just on one thing for the entire episode. So I'm not really sure. It's also been a challenge for me, since I usually just work on one thing at a time and for like a whole day. So it's hard to maybe working on several projects at the same time. But anyway, if you like this format, please let me know in the comments, and see you later next time. Bye.